SDG 15 is all about protecting different ecosystems and forests and biodiversity while preventing desertification and land degradation. Unlike other SDGs, this one had a deadline goal of 2020. Looking back, you can see that there actually hasn't been very much done to meet these targets, and there's not many improvements made. One thing that they did do is increase protections for forests and biodiversity areas. This means that there's more legal protections for both of these, including covering forests and the key biodiversity areas as protected land. Key biodiversity areas are places that contribute to maintaining global diversity. These are the most important places in the world for species and their habitats to survive. Protected areas are then legally managed to maintain conservation, so this could be like wildlife and state parks. But even with these protections, forests and biodiversity have continued to decline. The forest decline is mainly due to agricultural expansion. We have learned that with our current agricultural land, we could survive for decades, even with people eating more of a plant-based diet. So this is not actually a reasonable excuse for destroying forest areas. Biodiversity loss has also not reached its target. There's still over 31,000 species currently threatened with extinction. And one way that scientists measure biodiversity is with the Red List Index. This is a measure of the proportion of species expected to survive without any conservation actions taken to help them. Most countries right now have a growing proportion of species expected to go extinct. There hasn't been enough actions taken to protect them or their habitats. One thing that also threatens them is wildlife trafficking. It's found in a study that the trade has caused a 62% decrease in species abundance, with endangered animals suffering even worse with about 80%. There's oftentimes more animals in captivity than there is actually in the wild. We probably all watched or heard about Tiger King during its craze, and one fact that they mentioned during that is that there's actually more tigers in captivity just in the United States than there is in the wild. There just needs to be more laws to protect these animals and to stop wildlife trafficking. And overall, there has been legal improvements, like including forest and the key biodiversity areas into protected land, but there just hasn't been enough to stop the loss of either one.